Hi and hello watch fans, and welcome to another on-site recording from the Time to Watch This fair at Villa Saracen in Geneva. I am joined today by Benjamin from Herbelin. I almost pronounced it correctly. I was close.
That's perfect.
Okay.
Benjamin from Herbelin is perfect.
Oh,
hello everyone.
Sounded almost convincing. So for all of our English listeners who may not have understood what I just said, we'd probably call it Herbelin. All right, which obviously is devoid of any romance whatsoever, but that's what we're good at. Tell us about the brand. Tell us about the background. What do we need to know?
Well, Herbelin is a French watchmaker established in 1947 by Michel Herbelin. This is a family-owned company owned by the third generation. We are now 4 shareholders. I'm a part of those 4 people. And 2, Maxime and Mathieu Herbelin, are the grandsons of the founder. We are a French watchmaker close to the Swiss border, close to La Chaux-de-Fonds, where in a small village called Charquemont, where this is, I would say, the heart of the watchmaking industry in the Jura Mountain on the French side, but we are very close to the Swiss. The brand is making French-made watches, but using exclusively Swiss-made movements. We use Ronda for the quartz. The quartz represent, I would say, 85% of the collection, and the other 15% are using Celita movements from La Chaux-de-Fonds. The brand is established in about 50 countries worldwide, the French market being our main market, where we sell about 40,000 watches a year through 600 shops.
600 shops? 600 shops,
that's right, in France. The brand is really well established. We have in France close to 50% market shares in ladies in our price range from 300 to 1,000 euros. And worldwide, we have 1,500 shops. Spread in 50 countries, where we have a good distribution in most of them.
So what would you say the brand's USP is, as it were? Is it purely design, or is there some innovation within the brand or its history?
Well, we design our own watches. We have our own designer in the house. And Michel Herbelin is clearly well recognized in the watch industry for its ladies' watches. When the quartz arrived in the 70s, it's been complicated for a lot of watch brands, while Michel Herbelin used this small movement to create specific watches for ladies. And it was a big strength for the brand at that time. And we are still recognized as a very good designer for ladies' watches, also gents, of course, but as I said, we have up to 50% market share in ladies, which is really incredible.
It actually is incredible, but it probably shows just how much opportunity there is in that segment of the market that the rest of the industry is, for whatever reason, probably some of them quite unsavory, ignoring. But I'm glad that you're taking care of it. And you have a huge number of models, I've noticed. I remember seeing a display at one of the recent fairs in Britain and being fascinated by the diversity of your collection. What's the goal there?
Yeah, exactly. We have close to 400 SKUs in our catalog, but the catalog is mainly spread in 3 categories. I would say sport, chic, where we have Newport and Cap Camara, which are our main ranges for the sporty, elegant watches. For both gents and ladies, we have a little bit more gents than ladies in this category. Then we have a big category of more classical watches, timeless, and a huge one for ladies, specific ladies. What I mean is that for this category, we really create watches that are thought for ladies. They are not, gent size, and then you make it a little bit smaller. Mm-hmm. And it goes on the lady's wrist. They are thought from the beginning to be worn by ladies.
That's what everyone always says that they want to see. It's not just that we don't see it very often, unfortunately. So what have you got to show us today that's new to the collection?
Well, today I brought with me two products. The first one is a Newport gents. So the Newport family has been introduced in 1988. It's been inspired from the U-blow of the transatlantic boats. This is why we have a central attachment here on it. And this product that we celebrate this year is an automatic chronograph equipped with a Celita SW 510, 62 hours power reserve. It's the case is made in stainless steel, covered with 5N, so rose gold PVD. There is a glass box, sapphire crystal on it, black ceramic bezel. What else can I tell you about it?
May I have a look at it, please?
Yeah, you have a look and
let's see what I see when I look at this. So it's an interesting mixture of old and new, really. It has like some very heritage aspects to the design, especially in the case middle, the flanks, and also those central lugs that attach with slotted screws. But it has this ceramic bezel, which really pulls it into the 21st century. Quite stout and wide sub-register hands, which is nice for legibility. And a very clean look to it. I mean, it's a chronograph with a tachymeter, but with this, like I say, strange but very attractive character. It looks like something that Jules Verne would wear to me.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, this is one of our flagship model. Newport is really something that is recognizable easily thanks to the central attachment. And we are celebrating one of the anniversary of Newport. And this model has been launched 3 years ago, and every year we develop new colors. And this year there is a trend for matching rose gold with black colors, including the leather strap, the soft touch leather strap, matching with a rose gold butterfly buckle. And it's limited to 300 pieces.
Oh, very good. Is it available worldwide as well, or is it restricted?
Yes. Yeah. No. It's available worldwide. We will probably sell half of it on the French market.
Well, I'm sure you'd be happy to sell them like in whatever market would buy them, because
exactly. While usually limited edition are sold in few weeks or months.
Because that's the good thing of the brand. Yeah,
exactly.
A lot of dedicated collectors, I'm sure. So what would you say right now is the prime goal of the brand? Do you want to grow sales? Do you want to grow distribution? Do you want to grow geographically?
Well, of course, we always want to develop the brand worldwide. Last year, we've been able to open a very good market that is India. And the distribution is that there is a lot of different shops, online, offline, but we opened our own first boutique 3 years ago in Paris, and we are thinking of opening another one. So this is also a way that we want to go, which is opening our own boutiques.
Okay. Would you do that globally, or would you try it first in?
Well, we start with the French market.
Yeah.
We started with Paris. We are thinking of doing another one in France. Cannot tell you so much about it because this is a project that we'll be able to talk about it in few weeks. But then, of course, we have our own subsidiary in distribution subsidiary in Germany, in the UK. So this is, of course, something that we can do in the near future. Opening a boutique in London would be wonderful, and then why not cities like Tokyo, or I don't know yet, but this is we are trying our best, on the French market that we know well. But if it works, why not expanding it worldwide?
How important are events like this one to a brand like yours in terms of getting out there and meeting people that maybe haven't encountered the brand in their home countries? Because a lot of people travel to these events, and getting feedback from them and also your existing friends and partners.
Oh, sorry. Can you repeat? Sorry.
Yeah, how important are events like this, international events, when you have the whole watch industry descending in one place?
It's really, really important. We've been in Basel World since the beginning, I think close to 40 years. So when this fair disappeared, we found a way to replace it. It's not that easy. From at the beginning, we went to Inorgenta in Germany, and being back in Switzerland, in Geneva, is really great. It's a great opportunity to see many people, of course, media, our customers, prospects, but also our other brands, to see what they do, discuss with everybody, our neighbors. Mm-hmm. It's the best way to move forward, to go straight. Yes.
Yeah. Do you find sometimes that having such a vast and diverse product portfolio, 400 SKUs, you said, or 400-ish, makes it harder for new markets who aren't as familiar with the name as the French market is, and who haven't seen the brand be so opportunistic in the quartz crisis to really focus on ladies' watches and making watches for ladies? Do you think it's harder to communicate what the brand is to a new international market, like maybe the UK or maybe the US? I'm not sure which markets you're trying to break into where it's slower than you'd like it to be, but is that difficult?
Well, yeah, in a way, no retailer or distributor can take the whole catalog. It's impossible. They have every market has to focus on some ranges,
Do you offer the entire catalog to every market?
Yes.
Interesting.
But we don't, but we make sure we make the selection with them.
Yeah.
They have to choose several families, okay. Maybe 6, 7, 8 maximum. And we need to make sure.
How many families do you have in total?
I would say close to 15 to 20.
Wow. That's, it's one thing to have like so many models. It's another thing to have so many like distinct families.
Well, when you have a boutique like we do have in Paris with more than 100 square meters, it's easy to put everything in the shop. But of course, we have sometimes 50 centimeter, 1 meter windows, and on those we have to make a specific selection. And then from one country to another, there are worldwide there are some ranges that are not appropriate for the country because of the size, because of the trend. So in that case, we need to make sure that we found the best ranges. But you are right, from one country to another, the spirit of the brand might be a little bit different.
It is interesting because, in a sense, although you may not want to do this and it doesn't sound like you've done it already, you could present yourselves as a completely different, much more concise brand to every single continental market, for example. You could have 4, 5, 6 different versions of what the brand is by just curating a corner of it for one, part of the world. For example, I believe this is still the case, I'm sure it was at one point, they only have models that they release to the Asian market because they're basically designed for them. Many analysts said for years, why does the Constellation line still exist? Nobody buys it in the West. Meanwhile, it is the number one driver in the East. So, the brand is the same brand with a slightly different catalog, should we say a sort of curtailed catalog in both directions, and it has a completely different character in one part of the world than it does to the other. But you have so many families, you could legitimately break it down when you've identified, that sells in North America, that sells in Central Europe, that sells in Southern Europe. You could present it in a different way. Do you think if you were to try that, just to trial it, it might result in more new retailers rushing towards a brand because they don't suffer from what we call analysis paralysis, where there's too much to take in? Is it something you've ever thought about trying?
Yeah, of course, we tried, but it's a very complicated and challenging work.
Yeah.
Some models really work well in one country or another, and if we stop it, that would be really a problem for these or those markets. But what we do every time we open a new market, we make sure that the flagship models are selected.
Right.
At least they have to try them, like Newport, Cap Camara, Antares, which is a patented interchangeable system for ladies. And then they can take other ranges. But yeah, we try to make sure that at least the core range are there.
So, just to wrap up, where can our listeners, because we have listeners all over the world, mostly in Europe and America, but also in other parts of the world, where can our listeners, if they haven't seen you already, if they haven't got your watches in hand, where can they find them? Where can they go? Is it best to go to events, or is it best to go to retailers?
You mean for end consumers, sorry, or
consumers? Yeah.
Well, end consumers, the best way to discover the brand is in the boutique in Paris.
In Paris,
if they have the opportunity to travel in the most beautiful city. No kidding.
Very stark agree with them. In the Grasigli, everyone's cheering.
But then we sell on our website worldwide.
Okay.
And then any retailer worldwide would be the best way to see the brand, to touch the product. Herbelin is really well recognized for the quality of its product. It's very important to see but touch, a metal bracelet to see the finishing of the case. We pay a lot of attention on this. But once again, the boutique is the best to discover the brand.
Price points. What's the entry level price point, and what's the
300 euros?
Okay.
The average price is 550, 600 euros. The core range, so I would say 90% of the collection is 300, 1,000 euros. And then we go up to 3,500 with not ceramic, sorry, carbon and titanium case.
Oh, brilliant. Okay.
And most of the product above 1,000 are, of course, automatic.
Okay, well, if you want a new luxury watch in your collection and you can go without lunch at Watches and Wonders, you can buy one. 300 euros, it's a hot dog or it's a new watch. It's incredible. It's an entry-level price like few other, and the products are exceptionally well made. Go check them out, whether you're near a retailer or near an event where Herbelin will be showing. Please go along and have a look at it. Thanks for your time, guys. It's been a real pleasure to talk.
Thank you very much. Thank you, and thank you for everybody who listens.
So Herbelin watches, a brand that is engraved vividly in my mind, is because the Dutch distributor of Breitling was also the distributor of Herbelin. Not that popular in Holland, but whenever I would visit Belgium, it seemed that it was a top 3 brand there. So much so that I thought it was a Belgian brand. So, Rob, tell me more about Herbelin and where they are today.
Well, they're French, and they're very French, and they are humongous in France. They are another one of these brands that basically cherry picks whatever style they like, and it's kind of become their not USP, their central characteristic, that what they're known for. There are watches in this catalog that look like the watches of 10, 15, 20 other brands. Is there much originality? Not a huge amount, but everything is, as usual with brands like this that have found success, quite well done. And as a result of them not really having to design anything or develop much of complexity, the watches are very well priced for what they provide materially. And there's a lot of impact as well. They're not shrinking violets, that's for sure. There's some really striking pieces, a lot of nice basic stuff, especially in the ladies line. I think Herbelin is a superb line for women, actually, I must say. Diversity of styles available, the prices, the materials, the colors, very, very good. For guys, if you're a watch guy, the only one that I really like is the Cap Camerat, the square one, which, jokingly we could say the Patek Philippe actually ripped off. Like that's where the Cupitus came from. But I like that one. Beyond that, it's difficult for me to not see another watch brand in the watches that they produce. But what are your takeaways about Herbelin, a brand that you can find in basically every street corner in France?
So I remember there's Michel Herbelin, and as you said, rightfully so, it's a bit of a 12 and a dozen brand, very generic, and it's French, and obviously half of Belgium is semi-French. Is it still an independent brand, Rob? I have no idea who's behind it.
As I remember, it is, yeah. I mean, they are big. This is the thing that you got to remember. Like, this is the kind of brand that's making watches that can sell in a regular watch boutique, but also in a department store in the States. There are price points all over the shop. So you can have hundreds of these pieces sitting in every Sears, every whatever you want, every Target. I don't know, maybe not Target, but you know what I'm saying. Like, the watches can be sold in multi-channels, and they do volume, serious volume. Like, it's a brand that, even though I don't have it ranked up with like Omega or Rolex or Tudor or Longines or even Hamilton or something like that, it's right next to that sort of bracket in the minds of people. For me, it's kind of like a Mido. It's that kind of thing. And there's nothing wrong with a Mido. There's nothing wrong with an Herbelin. And I think that there's, a lot to be had for your money in this brand if you like the watches. And that's the only thing. If you like them, buy them with confidence. There's a huge network of support behind it. And there's a few real stunning watches within this collection, in my opinion.
It's interesting because we've had several brands, and more to come, that are not so much in the mainstream of things, either for the majority of consumers or even the hardcore collectors. And we dedicated ourselves to highlight everything in the watchmaking ecosystem. So I'm very happy to do this. I've actually written an article about French watchmaking as an independent journalist for a Dutch consumer magazine about watches. I summed up all the French brands. So probably Michel Herbelin, or Herbelin as they're called today, were in there. They didn't make my top 10. And it's funny that you refer to Patek Philippe with the Cubitus, because while you were talking, I was browsing the website. And the one that spoke to me was the Inspiration model, which is a three-hander, 1950s vibe, 900 euros for an automatic watch. The pricing seems very decent. And it's interesting that they exist since 1947. They are apparently super popular in France and Belgium. And they can live off of that, I guess. And you know, it's another brand that comes to mind is Chariol. And it seems that they're local heroes in particular markets. And in this globalizing world, and with social media and everything, that everything becomes smaller, I wonder, where are these brands going to, and how do they need to differentiate themselves, and I wonder how they resonate with our listeners. So I want to wrap up this analysis of this episode by hearing from our dear TRTS community what you think of Herbelin and several of these other brands that you might have never heard of.
Yeah, so drop us a line at any of the usual channels, either Rob or Alon at therealtime.show via email, on the official website, www.therealtime.show, or via the dedicated Instagram handle at therealtime.show.